I am going to record this. That's why I said that. So, welcome to PNA, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started, which means I get to hit screens and do this with that. And here we go. Again, welcome, Digital PNA. This is where we meet twice a month, extended sessions. And if most of you, I think all of you now, have been to physical locations, or if not on Zoom, you've experienced a regular meeting. Well, I guess that makes us an irregular meeting, but we're cool. We meet for longer and do better things. So all good stuff. I am your floating bobblehead president. We'll leave it at that. No one needs to see that for longer than 5 seconds. This is membership right now. Big thanks to Emma and Christina for getting us your MySpace photos. You look lovely. Like being able to integrate your noggins in there. I appreciate that. Mary's got a new logo up there. I don't know if you all noticed that, but she's no longer doing the Sound Care Agency. She is in business bed with 2 other folks to open the Pickleball Kingdom out of Linwood and 2 other locations in the Pacific Northwest. So that is a really exciting endeavor. Heath might share a little something at some point about some other things he's looking into. And if you like the thought of filling these gray spots with other heads, please remember we're always looking to grow Digital PNA. So feel free to invite folks. We need some volunteers. So everybody needs to grab something ideally. I will be the timer though, because I'm a control freak and I have issues, but it's easier for me to change the backgrounds to yellow and red during the speaker, for example.
I'll be the tracker.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Marcel's going to be the tracker. She'll listen for cool stuff to document and write down. Anybody want to be a photographer, whether you're taking selfies or, oh, Christina's got it. Excellent. Doodler. Anybody want to be a doodler? You might sketch something. The presentation might inspire you to draw something. I think is that one of your drawings, Mike? Or is that from the
no, but it is a drawing that includes me, I think.
It does include you in one of your other outfits. It does look like you're wearing a micro bra there, though. It's pretty damn funny. But anyway, Marcel was speaker of the day. I do remember that, and they highlighted her lips as red, which just cracks me up. Anyway, Mike, how about you be doodler today?
I will be happy to do that.
Excellent. Thank you. That way we can move on.
Well, and just a reminder that the whole idea of doodling or tracking is to help to prepare that creative muscle for storyboarding, social media content, communicating those kind of ideas to other people. Because when we can't use our words or our pictures, it can be really annoying. So it's good to doodle.
It's very good to doodle. Okay, we're going to give our commercials now. We're just going to go around the bobblehead room and give that commercial. I will kill the screen. This is an opportunity for you to share something about your business, maybe something that separates you from your competition, a recent win, anything along those lines. I will put the order of the advertisements in the chat window. So keep an eye out. We're going to start. I'm going to throw Christina to the wolves, have her give her commercial. And while she's doing that, that's basically a stall technique for me to type in all the other names. So Christina, go for it.
All right. Well, hi, guys. It's great to see all of you guys. So I'm Christina from Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Puget Sound and North Sound. We cover territory from Canada down to Kent. My background is cut off, but we do holiday lighting, and there's only a few spots remaining. So we don't just do outdoor lighting and pathway lighting, landscape lighting. We do holiday lighting. We also have a bunch of garland and greenery. On top of that, we also service existing lighting systems, and we would love to bring anybody's projects to life in any projects that you like. We also offer permanent lighting. And at the moment, we are also hiring, and we're working on a very, very big project that we're proud of, which is Redmond City Hall. So if you're ever in Redmond, go ahead and stop by. Follow us on Instagram for updates from Rob and the team as they're on site this entire week. So yes.
Awesome. All right. Ad order is up. Mike, you're next.
And I will definitely drop by the Redmond City Hall. That sounds tons of fun. Mike Enberg here with the Puget Sound Business Journal, which is a publication. It comes out on Fridays. It is also a website and, in effect, an event company. All together, it is a way for business people to reach and engage with other business people, not unlike DigitalPNA or PNA. The Puget Sound Business Journal tends to have as its audience people in decision-making capability or positions at businesses. So when you're advertising or when you're marketing and thinking about efficiency, how do I reach the right people? I've only got a certain amount of money to spend. You want to target your audience. The target the business journal can help you reach are business decision makers.
Emma, you're up next.
Okay. Well, when you think of insurance, I'm sure you think of unexpected and catastrophe, but I'd like to throw in the term peace of mind because that is what Country Financial is here to offer you. We are a one-stop shop for home, auto, life, retirement, and your business needs, which is nice to have a one-stop agent where, anything happens, you can give us a call. We're also here to guide with those tricky claims and things like that. I know a lot of people run to call their own insurance. Usually it's the other person's that you need to call. So we're here to help with those type of issues to make sure it's a smooth, seamless process for you. So remember, peace of mind, Country Financial.
Excellent. Good job, Emma. I'll go next. I'm dropping in the chat window there an article I just wrote for North Sound Media in partnership with KRXO Radio, which I'm really excited about. But the title is, Do You Have Unknown-itis? Unknown-itis. Do people not know you? Do they not know what you stand for? Do they not know what your offers are or your services? My name is Marcel. I run a little company called Dreamosity where I support remarkable leaders and maybe those who are digitally hesitant stand out online with infographics, video, advertising, social media content, and collaboration. So just this week, actually, with Christina and Rob, I went out and found 15 high-end realtors to kind of work through a collaboration strategy for the OLP team. And so part of what I do is help connect you to great people and find people through all these various networks I'm connected to online. Anyways, check out that read. I don't have an online link yet, but that's a fun question you could be asking people this week. Do you feel like you kind of have unknown-itis? Like, this sounds really important, but does nobody know about it? Hey, my friend Marcel, she can help you with that. And again, I'm Marcel at Dreamosity. Thanks.
All right. Hi, my name is Rosie with TAP Services. And what that stands for is Taxes, Accounting, and Payroll. And we just got past the hump of extensions on 10/15. Let's try that again. October 15th. And, one of the things that I like to emphasize is it's kind of a funny thing, but if anybody doesn't like chasing ducks or pigeons, I'm the crazy person that actually goes and chases the ducks and pigeons, literally. So if you know anybody that doesn't like to chase money down where they're owed money, I actually will be that person that will run down and chase them, and then money will start falling out of the pockets. So if you know anybody that needs help with their AR, so that they can collect and pay those nasty taxes that they owe every single year, give them my information. I'd be happy to give them a consultation.
Okay, so I am in a little bit of a flux state right now. I'm Heath Pierce, and you previously knew me as the representative with Insperity. I decided to part ways with that company, although I still have a lot of major respect for them. I'm doing several things right now, but primarily I'm contracting with a company called TJ Corporate Credit. And corporate credit is something that people know very little about, because when business owners go to buy new trucks, new equipment, get a corporate credit card, or anything like that, most of the time, in fact, nearly all of the time, they are personally guaranteeing that business debt. And the creditor is using their social security number, pulling their credit, making their credit decision based on how they handle their personal credit. What we do is, in a very simple program, we help people build their corporate credit. So when they need, whether it be a credit card or a new truck for their business or a new stove for their restaurant or whatever it happens to be, they can purchase that just in the name of their corporation without a personal guarantee. Most of the times they're going to get better interest rates. They're going to get higher credit limits. And they don't have to put their family, their home, all their other things outside of the business on the line, should things not work out for them. It's completely just tied to the EIN number. There's a lot more services that wrap around that, but I've already gone 30 seconds over time, so thanks.
Thank you, Heath. Hi, Brian. Wow, glad this is being recorded. Hi, everybody. Brian Trendler, co-owner of LaughTech, that I do own with Marcel Allen. To me, she's one down and one over to the left. We literally work with people all over the place how to become better speakers using humor. And while that's awesome, we love working with individuals from an engagement perspective. You get both of us for the price of one. We also really love working with a lot of people. Now, whether that's one to many from on the stage convention standpoint, working with people doing fun improv-based techniques to become a more competent and confident speaker. We love working with sales teams. We really want to get in the door with more sales teams so we can sit down with management first, figure out what the needs are through a very almost intrusive intake process. We really want to find out what their pains are so we can custom tailor our trainings to make sure that when the salespeople are in the room, we customize everything we do from our 6 methods of humor curriculum to make sure that we're really, really targeting what the needs are. Sometimes the salespeople are just not on the same page. They all have a different story how to sell the same widget. Guess what? That's a problem, right? Or people forget to let their face know they're having a good time. They're very stoic, they're very boring, they're very hunched over. Sometimes it's a physicality thing that needs to be changed. All those things that we can work with. Worst case, if necessary, I'll bring the dog. People can hold a Chiweenie while they do speeches. That's fine too. He's just being a pain today. So if you know people that suffer from boring or really want to take their speaking levels and confidence to the next level, think LaughTech. All right, there we go. So the next thing we're going to do, if all of you remember, maybe some of you don't, is we go to the next portion, which is actually sharing the screen. What is your last piece of media bling? It's a segment. It's a, I almost said segue, segment, whatever. This is another opportunity to speak. We're going to go back around the room, talk about your last piece of media bling. And if you don't know what that is, what would you want to generate? So what that can be is something like a PR piece that was just recently done about your organization, or something that you have turned around and generated an image and promoted online, things along those lines. I actually lied to you. I want Marcel to go first, because I think I know what she's going to say from a media bling perspective. She kind of just shared it, but either way, think about this. I'm going to drop it in the background for my picture here in just a second. So think about what your last piece of media bling was, and then we'll talk about it.
And media bling is these little icons of places where you've been featured. It could be radio, TV, a blog, a podcast. I haven't yet added the North Sound one yet because I just got that to come through this morning. But yeah, my last one was North Sound, and I help my clients get this, for the record, because it's not that hard to reach out to somebody like me managing their Instagram account behind them to set up a cool interview or opportunity. Let's pick Christina to go next. If you could be featured anywhere, where would you want to go, or where would you want to get Rob to go?
Oh man, well, like Marcel just said, we like podcasts. Rob actually just did a podcast. It was his first one, and it was live. Or no, he did a Facebook Live, and he did a podcast as well. So he did two. He did great. He was very nervous, but he did amazing. But oh man, if we had to decide, I think collectively, me and Rob have decided that we would like him to go on another podcast. That would be a big one for us. And so yeah, I think that would be our media bling, which is be another podcast in our lives. We want to definitely up our lives. And so that's pretty much it. Just podcasts and lives. That would be our media bling.
Mike, you're up next, sir.
Well, the Puget Sound Business Journal needs to do a better job of media blinging. I have this vision that when we do events, that we have enough forethought to be able to have the right media people there doing videography, doing, sussing out stories, doing great photography, and creating what amounts to a missing piece here, which is almost like a sizzle reel, like a way for us to use media and media blings to highlight the more person-to-person aspect of the Puget Sound Business Journal. So the last piece of media bling for us is a null set. I hope that it changes in the future.
Awesome. Emma, you're up next.
I'm a little stuck on this, but I know that we are actually looking to do more events. So we're actually trying to build more in-person relations than online. But I do know that those events need to be broadcasted online to be able to get people to come. So I think we're going to be working on doing more promoting on like Facebook and Instagram and things like that to get people to come to those events.
Awesome. Miss Rosie?
Gosh, I don't think I've ever been like, or have, that opportunity for a media bling. So, do I just think of one that I want to be represented on? I don't know, honestly. I don't think I know enough about it.
I have a feeling Miss Marcel's going to put something in the chat window that might give you a little inspiration.
Yeah, always. It's a good day to dream, yes.
Well, think about it, Rosie. If you were to contact any local trade, publication, like local, hyper local to your area in Westport, right? They can more than likely write an article that you have landed in the area and that this is what you do. And this is a new local business that people should support. So that could be, you can pursue bling. I think that's kind of one of the things here that people forget. It doesn't have to be someone reaching out saying, Emma, we really want to highlight you as a Arizonian who, working for, Country Financial with someone in the Pacific Northwest. But, it could happen. They could pursue her or she could go directly to them. Okay. Keith?
Well, all I have right now is a wish list. But if I had, any piece of media bling, I would want to be featured in the Puget Sound Business Journal.
Oh, wow.
So and that would be crucial. And I'm just going to throw this out there because there's at least one person that can probably help with this. But what I need is some sort of a social media usable piece that can generate leads. The top of the funnel, quick message, if this interests you, fill out 3 things, something that then, gets sent to me where I can follow up. That's maybe not quite media bling, but that's the type of stuff that I need.
Awesome. Okay. If only we knew someone who was involved in a publication and then someone who knew.
Yeah, I've been trying to rack my brain.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
No one does that. It's just so bizarre. Okay. All right. Let's end on me here. This is mine. Come on. It's supposed to be working here. This is a very poorly cropped snapshot of what I update on a regular basis on the auctioneer and MC portion of the LaughTech website, and then also on the homepage as well. They just didn't crop well. But every time I do work for one of the organizations, whether it's one that I set up or that I get called into, whether it's MC, whether it's auctioneer, just having those visuals up on the screen, publicizing it on social media, having each file that's comprised of all of those brands, those are all files, having those file names formatted correctly with the name of the Madrone school, for example, or even First Citizens Bank or Clothes for Kids, it gets me out there and it gets exposure. And even though it's not a direct media link, it's not issued from some PR source, as entrepreneurs, most of us, we are our own PR source. And people forget that all the time. It's okay to bark occasionally, as long as you're not A, barking up the wrong tree, or B, not being that obnoxious dog that everyone wants to have, shut up. And that wasn't meant to sound like violent. No one gets rid of the dog, people. Point is, it's okay to toot your own horn. It's okay to create your own media blame. And depending on how you syndicate that, that's the other reason why we're all here. So for each and every one of you that talked about social media, put one of your social media links in the chat tab. Okay, I will put this particular website URL into the everyone portion. That is my page on the Laugh Tech site that I want people to send out to folks and say, hey, are you tired of using the same MC or auctioneer? Do you want people to laugh so money falls out of their pockets? Think about this guy. It's all up there. So thank you all for playing along with that. That was informative. And it sounds like we almost got some referrals out of it there too. Only we knew somebody. I'm really excited because after I am done sharing the screen here for a second, look who we get to listen to, everybody. It's our newest member, Emma Mitchell. I'm going to give her full control of the screen here in just a second, but she works for Country Financial. Now, Emma, I'm supposed to ask you a couple questions so we kind of get to know you first, so you can kind of warm up a bit here.
Okay.
How long? I know you haven't been with Country long, correct? And if
Correct.
not, how long and how long in the industry? Or are you brand spanking new?
Yeah, well, I'm actually new to insurance as of 2024. I kind of went down a rabbit hole of ways to make money and got really interested in life insurance. And so that became a passion of mine, and I wanted to help educate others on that. So I quickly got all my licenses. I was working for another agency for a few months, but my agent I'm with now is a longtime friend of mine from when I lived in Seattle. I actually grew up there. And so it was a good connection to work together with her. And it's been a really wonderful industry that I'm in with them. I think Country stands apart from other insurance companies that I've worked with and had business with myself, as far as just kind of being a family representation for a company more so than just a business. And I think that's what really stands us apart from the rest.
Awesome. So now we know everything about you, and this is being recorded, so anything we forgot, we can go back and play once I load this up on YouTube afterwards. You now have control, so feel free to launch all your madness, all the screen sharing goodness. Just so you know, try to keep my bobblehead on the sub screen, because for up to 20 minutes, I'm going to give you a 10-minute yellow background that just shows you halfway through. And in 19 minutes, I'll go red in the background, giving you a minute to wrap up. And you don't have to use all the time. Speak as long as you need to. You can open up for questions, etc., whenever you're ready. Okay?
Okay. And bear with me here because I'm a little new to trying to use this and seeing if I can get to the next screen. So if I do, did that work? No, hold
You
on.
can see your screen. Just so
Okay, but the second screen didn't show up. So let's see. How do
Correct.
we get to the next one here? Sorry, one moment.
Take your time. I haven't started the timer yet.
Okay. I apologize. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay. So a little bit about us as a company. Recently, Country Financial was ranked in Forbes magazine as the #1 for life insurance in the U.S., and also the top 10 for auto and home. We take much pride in that, as Forbes is a very reputable magazine. And also, we were listed with maintaining our A+ superior rating with AM Best, which, if you know, that's kind of the rating system for insurance companies as a whole. And what we also take pride in is protection, as we consider that our middle name. One product that I kind of wanted to go over in specifics, as we do have many, but right now really want to talk about homeowner policies and what stands us out against the rest. Country offers an additional replacement cost program, which basically what this allows is if your home was to be demolished, fire, whatever, basically, and the cost came out to be, let's say, in an example, 600,000 was was the original cost of your home, but the repairs exceeded that, and now we're looking at about a $900,000 cost. With Country, we actually would pay that additional amount of 300,000 for you with no questions asked, which is a nice peace of mind. When your house is demolished and you're thinking about trying to get back into what you had beforehand, we make sure that you won't notice a difference of change. So, what we represent with Country Financial is quality. Above all, we take pride in the value. Country offers that complete coverage above and beyond with the additional replacement cost guarantee. As I said, I don't know too many other companies out there that do offer something like this or even similar. With that, we also provide care. We're a dedicated small team. It is just me, Courtney, and our associate Tara that is taking the calls. So we're there whenever you have needs. I want to help you with those claims, understanding where to go, what the steps are, and what to be prepared with. And then, as I said before, it's peace of mind with us. We've actually been in business as of 2025 will be 100 years. Started out real small with the farmers and building it up over the years here is quite a reputable company, and we take a lot of pride in that. And lastly, who can benefit? What kind of customers are we looking for? Ideally, our customers we're looking for people who are renting right now, looking to hopefully buy a home soon. Homeowners who are looking for better coverage, not necessarily best price. Also, people who are unhappy with their current agent. I do hear a lot of people say that when they're trying to get a hold of someone, there's not anyone there, or they're not able to get back to them in a timely fashion. We take a lot of pride in getting back to you quickly and efficiently with that. Also, someone who it wants an agent to advise and review the coverages. I do hear from a lot of people who say they don't really know what they have and whether it is enough. I think that's really the bigger issue than making sure you have a cheap monthly cost. It's better to make sure you have enough when the actual occurrence happens. And then those who are looking for confidence or who are losing their confidence with the big brands, annoyed with those phone trees and sick of feeling like a number. You would be a name with us. We know you well and hopefully invite you to, our family functions even. And that is what we represent with Country. And here is the information. And I thank you for coming to my presentation. Let's see if I can get out of
Okay.
sharing mode here. One sec.
Well, Emma, I hope we have a lot of questions for you because you win the award for the shortest presentations.
Thank you. I try to go short and sweet.
And that's okay. I do want to ask you, based off of, it sounds like you were going the life insurance route. Now, are you going to focus on that through Country? Because I know there are long-term care options through Country, right?
Yes. Life insurance, as I said, is my passion. Although I realize that in the industry, it is helpful to have all of the insurance availability to your client. And so that's kind of where I'm building those relationships, helping, start with that first thing of auto and home. And then from there, we can talk about the most important thing to insure, which is yourself.
Yeah.
And so, here to help with all those needs.
So is long-term care wrapped into some of those bundles or packages when it comes to getting everything, like you said, the house, the home, the vehicles, things along those lines, business insurance, also LTC?
Yes, we do give discounts as well when bundling and having multiple policies with us. So that is a wonderful advantage to having it all in one spot.
And it's kind of funny. I don't know why I never even thought about having long-term care mixed or bundled in to all of those, because frankly, no one talks about that. Although in PNA with a physical chapter, that's considered two separate categories. So that's probably why I don't hear about it much. So, okay.
Understandable.
Excellent. All right. Well, here though, it's like the wild, wild freaking West because we are actually open category in digital PNA. So we could have someone else that does some of the things that you do, et cetera. Okay. Any questions for Emma aside from me babbling on? Because I could ask more.
From a personal note, where did you live when you were up in the Seattle area? Were you like Linwood, like Courtney, or Monroe, or small?
Yeah. I actually went to elementary school and grew up on Beacon Hill.
Okay.
I moved away for a few years and then came back and was living in Lake City area actually before I moved away.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Emma, I know that the insurance market, the insurance ecosystem right now is pretty stressed.
Agreed.
Does that change anytime soon, or is this the new normal?
I would like to hope that it will. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really predict that to say, but I can say that it is across the board. So, I mean, we're feeling it as well. That's why we've kind of just upped our value as being more there for our clients, making sure that they're getting their needs met. And then actually, it was a funny story. Courtney dealt with a claim recently where the mechanic told them to go through country instead of the person whose fault it was, because they knew the check was going to come from us really quickly, where a lot of the other companies don't get it to them in a timely fashion. So we take pride in kind of making that be efficiency and things like that as our main stacking point.
So you're certainly taking note of the environment, and you have some strengths that sort of mitigate what is pretty stressful out there, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, doing what we can for sure.
Emma, I know you have a friendship, a relationship with Courtney. She's a complete sweetheart and frankly a heck of a business owner. I've known her for years through PNA. When you were shopping around, was it kind of an easy given that you were going to go back to Courtney, or did you actually entertain other businesses from the standpoint of country versus State Farm or whatever? Did
Yeah.
you pursue any others, and then what was really kind of the key reason aside from Courtney that brought you to country?
So I actually have my life policy with Courtney. I did a lot of shopping around with products before picking hers, and it was because of their being highly rated and being that it was actually a really good product. I couldn't really find much that matched what I was looking for. One thing that I really like about our whole life is that we have like a 20 pay. A lot of them won't have any type of pay setup. It's really just you pay till you pass away. So this gives you the option to stop on the payments and still have money gaining that way. So that was a big value to me. And then where I actually was before was with farmers. I learned a lot from them, but I learned also, some things that I wasn't really finding a value for myself that I aligned with what I was looking to do. Really, for me, I think insurance agents come up there sometimes with lawyers and used car salesmen as not being the most person that you really want to work with. And I really want to change that for people. I want them to know that, these are people someone who's there for your needs, knowing that insurance is for catastrophes. It's in a point in time where, bad things are happening, and you want someone who's going to be there to help with those problems instead of just kind of push you off to a toll-free number to call and lots of papers to deal with. So there's that. And then with country, one thing I really liked with working with Courtney since I've been here is this is a whole team. It's not just agents fending for themselves, as a lot of places I was working with were seeing that. They do constant trainings with agents in Spotlight to kind of highlight what they're doing well for themselves and how that you can learn from them. And I really think that that's a great value so far of working here.
I love that. 20 pay. Not in the interest of extending your time here, because we're already into Q&A. I've never heard of that. That sounds cool. Tell me what that is. Dive into that if you're willing to. I don't know
20 just the top. We also, I think we have a 10 and I want to say 15, I believe. And then you can do, like I said, till you pass away. So it kind of depends on what your current situation is, the age you're in, and things like that to determine what would be best for that. For some people, it may not work out as you may end up, paying monthly a lot more than you're budgeted for. But if it is something that, you have the time and the money to be able to invest in, a 20 pay could work out for someone quite well, where you get enough in there. Your account will have enough to cover you for when you pass away. But also with the whole life, there is the option of using that money if something was to happen while you're alive. The living benefits are huge for that too.
So pretend I'm stupid. And for those of you who know me, that's not a stretch with certain subjects. And that's not me being insulting. It's just, ignorance is bliss, right? I literally don't know what you're saying regarding 20 pay. Is that 20 payments?
Oh, 20. So sorry, 20 years. Yep. 20 years of payments. So you just pay for 20 years and then you would be able to stop making payments after that. And your funds would still grow and you wouldn't have to make any further,
so what does the account become after 20 years? Does it become just a savings plan, or does it need to roll into something? Or
I guess you could look at it as essentially a savings plan. It is growing because it does have its interest rate that it goes with. With the whole life, it's a fixed interest rate. If you were looking at some of the ones that we have, like universal life ones, those have a fluctuating depending on the stock market. So with this, it's designed to basically account for how much the cost of insurance would be. And again, it's based on age, your current health and such, and therefore can determine a plan that would work that you can pay only for the 20 years, be able to stop and still have funds in there for when you pass away, that it wouldn't take away from that.
fascinating. Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent. Okay, I got to do it. Another follow-up question. How do
Yeah.
you qualify for one of these plans? Do you have to go get poked and prodded and be inspected and looked under the engine? You know, I mean, like what type of process does someone have to do to get into a long-term
Yes.
care plan?
So, yeah, depending on your age and depending on the dollar amount that you're looking to go with, some of them will require you to have a medical exam. We do try to make that really simple, so they'll even come to your home and do it for you. Usually just simple urinalysis and blood sample to kind of see where you're at. That'll then make sure that your health is in good condition, or if not, determine what a rating that you would get based on that.
Interesting. Okay. Anyone else have questions? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, so I feel like I already have life insurance.
Right.
And what I would love, maybe this is for a future presentation, but my question kind of is like, what are 2 or 3 things I could say at a happy hour or a chamber event to be like, oh, you need to meet my friend Emma. Like, how do I go from, hey, what do you do for a living, to, oh, by the way, have you protected your life? Like, I love that phrase. Don't forget to insure yourself. That was really cute.
Yeah.
But like, what are 2 or 3 open-ended questions that anybody here could say to their brother, sister, friend, nephew, to open up that, to bridge
Yeah.
into you, right? Because it's a
Yeah.
lot, and
It's a hard one, yeah.
yeah.
I would say for sure business owners, small business owners are a good lead, because to say that is the business protected? We do policies that would cover the key person in the business, and also for a buy sell, if in the event one of them passed away, to be able to buy out the other person's spouse. So for business owners, that's a great one. And then that can segue into obviously insuring them and their income from that. Second would be obviously those who have just had children, because children are the best ones to, it's your price is the best when you're a kid. And if you can insure your child early, they can, you pay 20 years, then we don't have to worry about it for the rest of their life. They have that money there. And a lot of times these funds can even be used to reinvest. There's a term they call be your own bank with insurance, life insurance, that allows you to take that money and reinvest it into, new business or real estate property or something where you can regain money from and be able to pay it back at much lower rates than you'd pay if going through a loan or something at a bank.
Wow.
Excellent.
One last question I have. Can somebody who has an existing long-term care with another organization, can they go to you? Can it be transferred over if for some reason they like your bells and whistles better?
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you have currently to say. I know some policies there is options to transfer things over.
Yeah.
In other cases, sometimes it's merely just a matter of canceling what you have with the one and starting something else. Using, most times some will return the funds back to you and things like that if that's the case.
Interesting. Okay, very good. See, I've learned so much, Emma. It's all because you gave a 3-minute presentation. It allowed us all to ask questions. Excellent. Any other questions for Emma?
Yes. Can you go a little bit more in depth about the child? I have a 6-year-old, so
Oh,
that
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
just really want to know about it, because me and my husband have talked, and me and my husband are both veterans, so we get our life insurance and stuff through like the VA, and
Oh, nice.
my husband retiring, and so we're looking for something that we could do as a whole and stuff. So that really piqued my interest, and I've been listening, and so it's all been
Yeah.
very interesting. But that one right there just kind of like
Yeah.
the
Certainly.
nail in the coffin.
Yeah. I mean, I have an 18-year-old son, so I wish I had thought of doing it earlier and knew about it earlier, and I would have gotten it for him then. I just did it now. But the IULs are really what we would do for young kids, because that gives you the time to build those, where, waiting until your 30s and 40s, it's a little later, harder to kind of build that. So it's an excellent time. And then the rates are really low too. The other great thing is that it's kind of guaranteeing their insurability, because you can add those as riders to the policy, so that later on down the road, when they're in their 20s and 30s, maybe if they had medical health issues and things like that, which could probably potentially not allow them to get insurance, having something set early on can guarantee that they would still be able to add more to it, which is, I think, a huge selling benefit for that, because, a lot of times we find out about these later in life. It's, too late to get them for ourselves. But with the kids, getting it early before any potential health issues and things like that is a great way to guarantee that they'll have something for later on.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really great. Especially, I saw the little photo you sent in there, Mike, and yeah, peace of mind is definitely what popped into my head, especially talking about kids and stuff. And just in general for us, but definitely, when you have kids, it's like, I
Yeah.
gotta take care of them. So definitely want
Yes.
to do everything we can for them.
You do have to take care of the little monsters. Okay. So with that being said, let's see here. I love, there's a way I can regain, maybe not. Oh, it's off. Emma, can you make me host again?
How do I do that?
Oh, wait, never mind. They actually do have the button back. I can reclaim host.
Nice.
Okay, so, and Heath was in the waiting room. Whoops. So now he's back. Heath, you missed everything. Heath, you missed everything. We talked about you.
I'm sorry.
It's crazy. It's wild.
I think I fixed my internet problems. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so we're going to go into the speech breakout, which will be Emma's first experience as the victim. We're going to hit share screen. And now this might be hard, but Emma, you need to do your very best to let us answer the questions, unless your blood boils to the point where you have to interject because we're blatantly missing something, right? So it's always a great opportunity with PNA to find out very quickly if your audience was paying attention, quite frankly. And that's a big part of what this is, because we dive deeper. So target market for Emma. What people or businesses would need her services, her coverage?
Businesses with partners or key man, like, teams.
Yeah.
And kids that are 6.
Yeah, growing families.
I definitely think that I don't remember what the stat is, but it's dismal and low, the amount of people who actually have a long-term goal or long-term care goal, much less a plan in place. And like Emma said, the key thing is you get in early and you pay way less than if you're in your 60s or 70s, and sometimes there's no chance.
But also, is there a market, Emma, for people who are, older and recognizing that they are, they got to do something?
Yeah, we even specialize in annuities as well. So that's a great one for people who have, I know a lot of people get those 401ks and sometimes forget to move it if it's just sitting there. So yeah, that's a great
People
place for that
moving
money.
jobs then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Anyone else in their target market that we can think of?
It's literally everyone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, everyone.
I think a good one too is that she had mentioned was just business partners and like small businesses. There's a lot of people that go into business with their spouse or anything. So, but I mean, yeah, I agree. Everyone.
Yeah. All good points. Okay. Key conversations. What should we be out there listening for or engaging in from a conversation perspective that could trigger a referral for Emma?
I quit my job and I'm going somewhere better.
Right, Heath? Go team, go.
Yeah.
Emma, go get him.
So I was thinking like, especially somebody who, a couple who, or doesn't have to be a couple, but somebody who's going through that long-term care dilemma right now, with the loved one, that'd be, if you hear that, it'd be a perfect time to ask, are they covered?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. I think, I just lost my train of thought. That was so cool. I got 3 words out and it disappeared. This isn't a normal conversation. I think that's what kind of bothers me. It's really hard. And after now hearing Emma talk, very eloquent, by the way, you're a great presenter. It makes me feel even more silly because I don't walk up to someone and say, "Hey, you're old. What happens if you get impaired? What are you going to do?" I mean, it's not like a conversation you're going to have in aisle 6, you know? So it's interesting to me, but there has to be an easy way to kind of slide into one of these conversations. I think if you're looking and talking to your parents, if you have aging parents, and I know that sounds silly, but we all have aging parents. It's depending on how quickly they are aging. If they're going through things from an experiential standpoint, if they're already on a budget and they're not moving around and you don't see them that often, that's a problem. That's someone that might really need to consider this sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else can we be listening for?
Or even like when people like Christina's like, "Oh, I'm planning my kid's 6th birthday," you might say, "Cool, you're obviously spoiling them with fun and good food and love. Have you thought about 20 pay or I don't know, ensuring their life like
No,
a
that's
more responsible gift? Like, have you and your husband thought about that? You know, like trying to say like you're doing X, Y, and Z right, but have you thought about ensuring their life? Like, I don't know, is that too far of a stretch?
I think that's a part of stretch. I mean, I'm also that type of person that would just like deep dive into that conversation because I would think it's a normal question. But I mean, that is a good point, Marcel. Like, yeah, you know, like, have you thought, you know, long term, why, like, into the future? I mean, I think about her future all the time, and one of the big things is like, you know, wanting to ensure that she's covered and stuff. And so, I think it's a great way to just kind of maybe we can bring it up with something else, like work it into a conversation. Like people bring up like investment bonds and stuff, like, hey, you know, there's life insurance. We can, you know, insure their life. Like, kind of like Marcel said, like, hey, like we got to insure their life. You know, it's their life. So I think it's definitely, yeah. I mean, work like it's like how you said, Brian. It's like how do you just bring that up? Like, oh hey, and Marcel said like insure your kid.
Yeah, I don't have an easy answer for this. Okay, any other comments there? If not, we'll go on to beneficial syndications. Okay. So Emma, I want to challenge you. You really have a great speaking voice, and I think some strong 90-second shorts that you could record, you know, put yourself on video. I would encourage you to find a legit background that isn't fuzzy. So if you move around, it doesn't, you know, do that weird fuzzy placement of your head or certain outfits that'll end up having blank spaces and whatnot. But I think you'd be great on video. And this type of thing normally comes from Marcel. But again, you're a very eloquent speaker. And if you were to talk about the first 3 things to listen for in order to think about a long-term care plan, whatever, come up with simple, good, better, best scenarios that can become a series, right? And then we, from the digital PNA perspective, can get excited that we see it and share it out to our networks, right? So that's kind of a challenge there. Marcel, do you have any input on any of the other things? Plus anyone else, any comments on syndications?
Yeah, well, and once you do the video, then you can come here and say, "Hey guys, will you share this video this week?" Or, you know, scroll your feed and see if anybody's doing a birthday thing or talking to, you know, complaining about long-term care. You know, like give us very specific things. And that's where right now it's like, okay, all this cool stuff. But what's the thing? Like when we all walk away from here, what are we gonna do? Like, and if we can give them a link, like, hey, text this to 3 mama bears or, you know, three businesses who have a co-partner or, you know, a partnership, right? So like as specific as you can get, and if you have a link, then it's like, okay, we can do that. But it's like, I know 5,000 people, you know, and they probably all need this, but I'm not going to just blast it if I don't know, like I want to send it to a specific person. I think you're training us to be your sales team. The more specific you prod us and coach us and tell us what to do, I think the better we're going to do for you. But great job today.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have thoughts under syndications?
Well, I think the more storytelling, the better, because I think, as you said, Emma, there's a kind of resistance to even the idea of insurance. It feels complicated sometimes, and it feels a little scary sometimes. So So the more you humanize and storytell and use syndication options that do that, I think the better.
Agreed. Excellent. Okay, other categories. What other businesses can we bring in that will help not only her referral network grow directly, because maybe they might be more of a power partner, and then of course we can all benefit from another virtual butt in chair syndrome, right?
Well, and we don't have a realtor in here right now. I realized that when I was doing.
It's crazy.
We need a realtor or a mortgage
I
person.
I have a realtor.
Yeah,
friend.
lender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have a
bring 'em on,
realtor that
Christina.
I'm inviting. It's her and her husband. They've been doing it for 6 years. I actually just saw it yesterday on Facebook, and I was sharing all her stuff, and I was like, oh wait, I have PNA tomorrow. I'm like, this would be great. So I'm definitely gonna refer her and her husband and see. And it's a great opportunity because they're obviously local, and they're in Kirkland, and so she speaks Spanish, and her husband only just speaks English. So it's a diverse community, and um I mean, we went to high school together. She's very lovely. I don't know her husband personally, but she's a lovely individual, very soft spoken, very, and I was like, oh, this would be a great opportunity. And I see her promoting her and her husband's real estate business and wanting to, get out there and network and stuff. So I'm hoping that I can get her on here. So I've already reached out to her. It completely blanked my mind until late last night. And so I am in touch with her. So hopefully she will join us for the next one.
Kirkland would be great. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Christina.
Of
I
course.
was also thinking like event planners. And I actually have a florist client, but she's not quite the right person. But they do so many like what are they? Kissient? I can't say the word. The 16-year-old birthday thing. Like those people, they're literally doing parties and parties and parties and weddings and weddings. And to me, when you get the whole family in the room, it's like hit all 10 of them, or like invite them to be responsible parental units or whatever when they're having fun and maybe a drink in hand, right? Like, is that wrong? I don't know. An event planner would help a lot of us though here. Somebody that like that's their job. Like I know a lot of us do events, but that's not our main thing. But an event coordinator or a wedding coordinator would be great.
Well, yeah, and you could also hand in hand with that a photographer, videographer, um, also maybe somebody that produces podcasts or produces those types of things. I don't know, Marcella. I don't think that's really your lane. You help people with the content, but
Yeah.
not the production.
I have abilities there, but that's not my main thing. And I do actually like podcast producer is like a whole new job title that's out there now.
It is. I have a nephew that's his lane that he's going down.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, if anybody does need help editing podcasts for now, I can actually help you with that part. But I would love to get a person in there too. But yeah, I edit videos for people all the time. So other categories, I'm filling in for Brian here while he's gone for a few minutes. Other categories that would help Emma sell more life insurance or this idea of being your own bank.
Well, Emma, do you partner or does the company partner with financial planners or
Yeah, we have worked with some because there's some things that we can't offer or vice versa. So we've worked with them. So I'd say that's a good one.
So
I would also say auto dealership or some sort like that. Or maybe
yeah,
one too for cars.
Yeah,
absolutely.
hold on.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so any other questions for Emma before we move on to the next category here?
Yeah, like lives or something.
Oh, I don't know how to mute him.
So Emma, is insurance a growth market right now or more as the sort of population ages?
It's a growth market. Because again, starting with the youth and moving forward, there's still, lots of growth for them. But with aging, there is still opportunity there. As I said, we have the annuities, and we can do retirement planning too.
And the opportunity really is that there are a lot of people who should have insurance that don't, right?
Correct. Yeah, I think there's more than need it than don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Exciting.
I'm going to back up to the beneficial syndications, but people like Rosie who have, a bookkeeping database or a financial advisor like Karen, who's not here today, but you could definitely approach people like that and be like, hey, can I write a short paragraph for your monthly newsletter? Or can I, like, because they've got that database of people who just bought a house and they're trying to get, like, they're doing things to get financially stable and to build wealth. And so you could definitely partner with people like that um, it's a little bit of a different approach, but I feel like there's a lot of people that already have that database, but that direct question of, do you have life insurance? Are your kids protected? Like that, they could open you up to set a lot of appointments, I would think. Okay,
Yeah.
Brian, welcome back. Take it away.
Sorry about that, folks. Had to take an emergency call, unexpected.
But I think, Marcel, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it, but like you did with North Sound Media, media tends to have what's called a news hole it needs to fill. And it can do so from, and I know Brian has laughed at that before.
Sorry.
But
I'm a 12-year-old boy.
But positioning yourself as an expert, a local expert that can create content that helps media companies get information out in a variety of different syndicated ways would pay dividends.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, folks. So again, sorry about the edited little screen grab here, but I'm tired of having to switch technology 10 times. This is the next slide, basically. Let's talk about, again, we did just talk about some of the sales or categories we could bring in, but let's think outside of the proverbial box too. One of the other reasons behind digital PNA is that if you don't need to be tied to a brick and mortar, a specific demographic, or geography. Again, Emma is elsewhere. Christina is elsewhere. Heath, you've been elsewhere for years, but that's a different thing. Point is, if you're already selling online, if you're already shipping online, if you can coach anybody around the country, whatever the case is, these are some categories that I want you also to think about inviting to digital PNA, because again, I am planning on taking over the world with PNA to replace all those other type of networking groups. But these are also folks that quite often don't feel that they are a good fit. And that's just boulder dash. And I've always wanted to say that in a sentence. So yay. I think these are great opportunities for these folks. So think about that. Think about some of those categories. And if you have them, invite them. You can forward the link I send out, the information email reminder, every 2 weeks-ish. Send that out to someone that you think might fit these categories or something else we haven't thought about. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Let me get rid of this screen thing. Again, 10 buttons to do that. And I'm back. Next up is referrals and testimonials. Let's go through that. If you have a referral or testimonial, speak toward it or forever hold your pieces. But it'd be nice to hear something nice about Heath, if anybody can think of something or whatever. So let's just go around the room. Rosie, pick on you first. Boom. What you got?
I like my evil laugh because it's always towards you, Brian. Anyways, testimonials, well, one of the things that I want to actually give a testimonial to is you, Brian, and Marcel. So, so for Brian, in essence, he's been like a great supporter in PNA in general, because I've been trying to start a chapter here in the South, region, and there's been some attrition and everything else, and a few things that happened here and there, and he's been kind of like my cheerleader behind my saying that you can do it, keep going. And I felt bad a few times where I just kind of vented right on him, and I apologized to him the next day, and he's just like, it's all good. Exactly. So I appreciate you, Brian, more than you know. So, yeah, Marcel, I went to her revenue ringlet this last time, and she actually got me to do a video on Instagram. And so it was, I think, my second one, right? Yeah, it was my second one, but it's getting me a little bit, more comfortable. And even my husband's like, yeah, I think she's right. Just start putting up, reels on, Facebook and all that other stuff, and we'll start getting noticed. And so it's been on my radar to kind of do like almost like a daily commercial, in a sense, or a daily tip, or something else. So
Awesome.
yeah. So I appreciate you, Marcel. I know you keep pushing me and everything, and you're pushing me in the right direction. So
Great. All right. Well, who wants to follow that? Good Lord. I don't anyone else have a referral and testimonial?
Well, so mine is also for Brian, and you guys, in a couple days, he's gonna be Mr. November for my magazine. And I've been working on this particular magazine for probably 10 months. And I'm like, there's so much to say about this guy, and PNA and Laugh Tech, and the fundraiser last year that happened. Anyway, so there's going to be a lot that when that comes out, please take 5 minutes or 12 and read it and share it, because I want people to know that there's great men out in the world like Brian doing really cool stuff. And I think it's really important that we elevate the voices of those that are doing really important work. And that's part of what I'm doing here at Dreamosity. So I'm so excited. And I'm also just like, I need like 6 more hours of like not busy time.
Because you're still editing it right now, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just gonna go really quickly. First of all, I need to Venmo both Rosie and Marcel, apparently $20 each for nice things that they said about me. Thank you. That's very kind. Appreciate that. I want to show you all what, let's see here, see if this works. Hold on. That's Rosie. That's why I adore Rosie. She is a freaking bulldog, and she goes after people, not to like shake them up and rough them up, but she's a bulldog. And she wasn't a bulldog when I first met her 10 years ago. She was a teensy tiny little mouse that would sit in the corner and go beep. And that's not her anymore. And it's not our fault that her personality changed, but she has done some Laugh Tech stuff, has grown in confidence and competence, and it's just been a joy. And she is now the bookkeeper for my graphic design business. So that is going to be closed business. I still can't find the contract she emailed me. So Rosie's forwarded again. But
okay.
One more thing, as a new customer, you're gonna have to deal with my stupidity. But I am excited because I'm not taking that business off the burner, but I don't want it to be my primary income anymore. I want PNA and Laugh Tech to take over the world, like I've mentioned. But either way, she's been willing to work with me, and I very much appreciate that. Emma, I don't know you well yet, but I'm thrilled that you're on board with Courtney. Courtney is one of the coolest gals that I've known through PNA, and she's just such a warm spirit, and she's been through heck and back, which I know that you know as well. Years ago, her teensy tiny little daughter sat on my lap during a baseball game and was just like enamored with me. Just kept looking at me and just looking up like, bleh, and just the cutest kid. And Courtney's just got a big heart. So I'm thrilled that you're part of that team now. That's very cool. I could go on forever, but it's not necessary. I don't have anything else to share from a referrals perspective, I don't think, other than everybody needs to know that members only get their stuff shared out on Instagram, and that is due to Marcel. She is the one that is running that account because I am irresponsible and I need someone to help, and she does a brilliant job. And while our viewership isn't huge, it's pretty darn big, and it's getting bigger, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's giving a lot of us exposure by way of religiously forwarding on, sharing to our story, the PNA Northwest story on Instagram, for example. So the more content you create, it's going to get more eyes by way of her efforts. So thank you, Marcel. Anyone else? Dun, dun, dun. Dramatic pause is always fun. So we do have a speaker rotation. Not going to bother splash up the graphic because it's not important. But Mike, you're on docket for next time. That is November 20th, okay?
Okay, November 20th, right, okay.
Okay. And Christina, you're actually on for December 4th. Please do not have a heart attack.
Okay.
Is that going to be okay?
That will be fine.
Okay. Christina, I want to offer, if you need to reach out and go through your material, if you have questions, if you're stuck on an iPad at that point and you want me to share out a slide deck or anything like that, you're welcome to send it to me so I can handle the tech when you handle the talk. Happy to serve in that regard. Just, don't panic. It's going to be fine. All right.
It'll be great. I look forward to it. I have so many ideas in my brain, and I was like kind of expecting this, and I was just like, all right, I think at some point I'm gonna have to speak. So I was like, I should probably start gathering some materials now. So I've been collecting like images and some videos and stuff, and
Great.
hopefully we'll have some good images for this holiday season. And I know we're late on the thank yous and stuff, but Marcel has really been helping Rob with his reels and stuff. They have gotten so much better. We just got to work on his stories.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. So yes, December 4th, I will have a lovely presentation about lights for you guys.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone else have anything?
Brian, do you have a list of the speaker rotation? I feel like I've not presented in ages and I could just be wrong, but like, where is the ongoing list?
The ongoing list is behind the emerald curtain. It's
okay.
It's basically here. So we actually skipped Heath because he didn't have anything to talk about. And you are technically, actually, with the introduction of Christina, you would be next. And then it would go back to Mara, and then back to Rosie and Karen, and so on and so forth. So
middle of December.
Yeah. Okay. So you are very close to coming up again.
Excellent. I'm trying to find the link for I know events are coming up. Tonight I will be at the downtown. Have you guys been to the Columbia Tower before? It's like the coolest building in Seattle, 86 plus stories. Anyway, I'll be at the top story doing a data art demonstration, getting these business owners excited about marketing and creativity. And I have a little booth. Rob's daughter, Sydney, will be there with me to kind of network. We've got a great goal, but if any reason you're in downtown Seattle tonight and you want to come out and hang out, I can get you the link. I'm trying to find the link. I think tickets are $35 to participate. But it's gonna be amazing networking with people that literally run businesses at a whole different level. And I'm excited about that. Like some of them, commute from multiple places in California, and they're just like the Seattle is the center place. So anyway, really, really excited about that. And I think that's it for that particular announcement.
Okay.
I need to find the link though. I don't know where it is.
Does anyone else have anything going on, announcements wise, that they want to mention? Mike, you tend to have stuff going on. What's going on with yours?
We have not next week, but not this week, but next week, an event called Women of Influence. It is a celebration of some business leaders in different categories. And it is an excellent networking opportunity. I think it's probably going to be about 150, 200 people.
Wow.
And I believe in Bellevue. So, yes, thank you, Brian. We periodically, at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, have events.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, in case you all couldn't figure it out, I was stalling there for a second as my video just stopped. I needed to get this slide up on screen as well.
Mike, is there any more information available on that?
Yes, I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. So for anyone who's local, I wish we could fly Emma back here and fly Christina in, but that's up to their bosses.
Can I announce Brian, I'm sorry, can I announce my event?
Yeah, please go ahead. I can
sorry about that.
You can talk over me. Go ahead. Go for it.
We're hosting a networking event. It's Wednesday the 20th,
okay,
from 6 to 8 at 13 Coins in Bellevue.
And who is we, Keith?
That would be TJ Corporate Credit.
Okay, excellent. Well, good. Is that something that when Marcel sends out the notes, you can reply all with, or if you want to drop that into the chat window?
Yes, I will drop a link in there for, it's free. but I'll drop a link in there.
Awesome. So it
And
costs
FYI,
12
thank
coins
you.
to go to 13 coins. Nothing. Okay.
Sorry to come in over the top of you like that.
That's okay. That's all right. I just want to let folks know if they want to come laugh, this is going to be a fun event coming up on the 15th. We did just lose our headliner, but fear not, I'm in the process of finding a replacement. That's okay. We only bring good, funny people to the stage, so that's fine. But that's just right around the corner, November 15th in the Mill Creek Bothell area. It was our previous place called Good Brewing, but we've lasted longer than 3 breweries out of that location, which is kind of funny, but also awkward. But they've done a great job rehabbing the place. It looks phenomenal. And we've had one comedy night under the new Wheelie Pop venue with a huge, awesome taco truck out front. And it's been a lot of fun. And then RSVPs still need as many as feasible. Folks are going to drive up to the Shorelines Seattle Scottish Rite Conference Center. It's also called the Masonic Center. Upstairs is where they do the Freemason stuff. Downstairs is a really great venue for events. So we are going to have the holiday party. If you do want to bring a gift basket of any size, any denomination, no requirements, you can get a minute on the mic and just, something to give away for a raffle. That's always fun. And then there's going to be a few other little surprises planned. Santa's going to be there. This is a kid-friendly event also, or people who are grown-ups that act like kids. So I'll be on Santa's lap in a heartbeat. And I can put this in. Actually, all of this info should be in the previous notes that we have from Marcel. So thank you for doing that. Killing that screen. If anybody needs to see that information, I can send it to you. Or again, she's pretty darn good at getting that info into the chat screen. Already has.
Anyone have any links that they want more traffic to? Recent reels, podcasts, articles you've written? I want to make sure we're sharing out each other's content, or if you're getting ideas for content. It doesn't help Rosie's network for just her people to see about her great reel. It helps all of our networks if we share her reel into their spaces. And Emma, I know when I speak in a couple of weeks, I'll do a bigger sphere of influence one with data art, but we encourage every member here to have maybe 5 to 10 Facebook groups that they're networking in, or LinkedIn groups where you could easily drop 3 or 4 of, say, Mike's links for this Women's of Influence one. Even if you're not physically here, you can take that and put it in places where we might not already be. And that's where part of this group isn't just passing business, but passing valuable content to new spaces. So kind of rolling out that sphere of influence for people. But if we don't bring links, it doesn't happen. So I want to encourage you guys, bring something of note or something you want traffic on, and tell us a goal. Like maybe with Rosie, she wants to get 400 views on that one reel by Christmas. Maybe she wants it by tomorrow. So like some groups have 20,000 people, some have 500, some have, everywhere in between. But it's actually pretty easy to get a lot of eyeballs if we have a predefined place to take those pieces of content. So be thinking of what are your, top 5 favorite places, or promo friendly places, right? Because a lot, it's no promo, so we got to find the ones where you're allowed to share. And then you can always bring a testimonial saying, I dropped Rosie's spot in these 4 groups. And, that's part of how we can help each other in this chapter.
Well, even if it's in the most simplistic of an example is, Rob contacted me the other day, owner of OLP, and told me about the hiring issue that they're faced with, the good problem, but the problem of not having enough people. And I'm suddenly getting an emergency call again. I'm sorry, folks. I will be right back.
Well, and back to that Rob comment, I just dropped that post I think Christina had made into Engage Mill Creek, which has 300 local business owners, right? So it took me 2 minutes to send while I was sitting here listening to Brian ramble on. I didn't say it. But
and I can piggyback off of Brian. So yeah, it's a good issue to have because we are in high demand right now, but we just don't have the manpower. The manpower we do have is amazing. They're great. We have a great team, but they are knocking everything out the best that they can. I have them going every which way at this point, and I know that they're tired of seeing my name pop up and be like, hey, when you're done here, I need you to go over here. So yes, so if y'all know of anybody that's looking for a job, send them our way. We would love to have them. Not just saying this just because Rob is my boss, but Rob is really great to work with. They get to work with me. I promise I won't annoy them or drive them away. Um, yeah, we would really appreciate if you guys can get the word out for our holiday lighting as well. And then just another thing is just checking out our reels on our social media. And of course, the work that we've done, we actually did the lights down in the city, downtown city of Everett. Um, and then we're doing Redmond City Hall right now. So if you want to follow up with some fun updates and see Rob's pretty little face, y'all can follow our social medias and he will be posting. Um, if you don't mind seeing Rob like right here, like here.
Yeah.
It'll be great for you guys. But
And Christina, thinking about stories, like there's no reason you couldn't pop on for 20 seconds and say, hey, here's a few details of who we're looking for. So I'm going to start coaching you too, my friend, to get on there because while he's here in Seattle, you're the one holding the keys to the kingdom.
yes,
You're running the show.
I am.
So,
I'm gonna do that. And he actually just emailed me earlier or texted me earlier and was like, hey,
yeah.
I posted a story. Can you go post it on our other page? I was like, I got it. So wearing many hats today, but yes, I need to be coached on being able to do that. So
I will coach you in here. We're gonna get you there.
Awesome. Anyone else have announcements or shout outs or anything like that?
Well, just kind of on this topic with Christina and I about the stories and the reels. I know with the politics, people, whatever side you're on, I just want to encourage people like the freedom to speak. You have that, and a lot of people don't use it the way where you could, whether it's a speech, a story, a reel, retelling a story, interviewing people. Like this country to me is like it's all of our responsibilities. And if we think something's wrong with it, well, let's speak up and let's propose some idea or cast a vision or, like we have this freedom to speak. And video right now, it's so amazing for you. Like the opportunity we all have, it's huge. And here at DigitalPNA, like to me, you're the leaders of this digital movement in a sense within the PNA community. And I would love to be seeing more little short videos from each of you. They don't need to be like election level speeches. They can be just cute little snippets about what you're working on or who you just helped. But if you're wanting more leverage in your business, I want to really encourage you that you have a voice and your story matters and your audience wants to hear from you more than anything. And I think if you could all embrace that, like, yeah, people want to hear from me. You're going to give them little updates. Again, it doesn't need to be a TED Talk. It could just be a little update and a cute little, here's where I'm at, here's what we're doing. So be encouraged.
Awesome. Well, we've got until 1:30. You all can consider this an open forum here, talk about stuff, questions, chat amongst each other. If you need to, you could scamper back into the forest, but of course, I'd love it if you stay and hang. No worries either way. Again, because we're short 2 people today, that probably would have given us roughly the other 10-minute worth of space between referrals, testimonials, advertisements, all that fun stuff. I will say, just as a reminder, 1 or 2 of you have probably received next year's renewal email. Just know that came from my automated tool, and it is a tool. But if you have any questions or concerns about that, let me know. I know Rosie's, the link didn't work for her, so we ended up remedying that. If for any reason the link comes up on your side and it's not the Venmo link, please don't use it. Use the Venmo link only. So I think, Mike, you might be one of those people. If it brings up PayPal, please don't use that one. It's not calculating the processing fee, for example. So use the Venmo link that's within the invoice itself. It's a second line item that talks about that. Anyway, that's just one-off stuff. If anybody has any questions, I'm pretty much always reachable. So, Emma, how was your first presentation? You feel good about it? Do you still like us?
Feel great, actually. Yeah, I think got some more encouragement for ideas going forward. I mean, was short good, or should I have had it longer? I mean, I don't know.
Not to sound creepy, but size does not matter. It has to do with the message you want to get across. Heath, be good. It really matters about like what content you want to give us. I actually forgot to tell you, and this isn't this is kind of a full circle of life here. I would love to hear from a future presentation, because your world in particular, to me, is very difficult to talk about. Like, I don't know what to ask, don't know what to listen for. Maybe it could literally be an extension or an expanded version of the top X amount, 3-5 things to listen for that would then make us the best possible referrer to you, right?
Okay, I like that.
Because again, I don't hang around old people. They creep me out, so I don't know if that's a specific demographic, because you said you have specific category, programs for the older demographic. I wouldn't know how to have that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we're really for everyone, as you guys had said. Maybe someone who just bought a home wants mortgage protection. Someone who just got married, they're looking to, define their assets together. Someone who just had a baby, people's growing families, kids going off to college, making sure they're covered for, accidents and things like that.
Yeah.
Really anyone.
Those are tough subjects. Like
They are.
how do you say, hey, let's plan on if your kid dies? Like, holy crap, that's a scary thing. But we do have to think about those things.
Yeah, it's tough because
horrible conversation.
We insure our cars, because we know that anything can happen. It is kind of shocking that we don't always insure ourselves, knowing the same. But I kind of look at it as just
dead.
I was saying, you're worth a lot. See, that's it. It's our assets. We don't consider covering. So that is the biggest thing. When we take that away, what do you have? And your family has to. I guess one that really gets to me is I really like GoFundMe as a concept, but the fact that it takes money from people that use it, and the fact that people are more inclined to give a business money than directly to friends and family who need it, is kind of always been one that's hard for me to look at. So I look at it this as a way to avoid all that, to say it's peace of mind. And just thinking people I know who have had like car washes to come up with just the money for funerals, as they are a lot more expensive than we think and increasingly going up in cost. So, looking at things like that, I guess maybe it is kind of learning to have those conversations and not make them so difficult, because we get more comfortable talking about politics every year. I figure we should start getting more comfortable with protecting ourselves and the inevitable.
I think that would make a great future presentation. And for the record, I'm very uncomfortable talking about politics, so nope.
Okay. Even with humor.
Oh God, no, it's way too painful. Way too painful. Okay, so does anybody else have anything they want to bring to the table or say or shout out? Because if not, you can all go have a fantastic rest of your week.
So, Brent, I just want to clarify, Venmo, not PayPal for the invoice.
Yeah, there's a hyperlink in that line item number 2 in the invoice that you got. Use that link.
Okay, and that would be, I see also a link to PayPal in.
And that's what I can't get Zoho to take off the stupid thing.
Okay, so Venmo.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
If you want to give me 2 seconds here, I will literally put the correct link in the chat window for us, for you, if you want to hang. Yeah, I noticed that after 110 people got emailed throughout the organization. I was like, well, that's convenient. Super awesome. And on the website, it's just under the renewal portion of DigitalPNA.
Okay.
But let me just give that to you right now. It'll be much easier. So horrible long link for you, Mike.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, Heath, your renewal doesn't come up right now. Christina, yours doesn't. Emma, you just joined, so you're a newbie. And Rosie's taking care of business already, so we're good. Okay. Last call. Anything? Anyone else? If not, go be amazing, people. Are we golden?
Everybody have a wonderful day.
Okay. You too. Take care, all. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.